You know that feeling when you're just stuck? Like you've hit a brick wall with your AI? You ask a question, it gives you an answer, but the absolute second you close that tab, it forgets you entirely? You're constantly having to re-explain who you are and what you're trying to do. It's exhausting, right? Well, welcome to today's Explainer, where we are going to completely shatter that ceiling. Today, we're diving into the 2026 landscape of AI tools. And these aren't just tools that talk back to you, these are tools that actually take action on your behalf. All right, let's look at the game plan. We're mapping out this vast 2026 landscape based on the actual jobs these tools do for you. We'll be covering beyond the basic chatbot, personal agents that take action, deep research and analysis, the AI builder tools, AI for marketing and video, and finally, building your ultimate stack.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, Beyond the Basic Chatbot and Our Evolving AI Needs.
So, have you hit that AI ceiling yet? It's a really familiar frustration for so many of us. You're just sitting there, endlessly re-explaining your context to this reactive cloud assistant that just waits for your prompt. It doesn't know your business, it doesn't know your preferences, and it definitely doesn't know about your ongoing projects. And look, it's not just you. The Stanford AI Index actually backs this up. We're seeing a massive shift right now. Chatbots are evolving into proactive agents. And because of very real privacy concerns, people are actively looking for local-first options. We're talking open-source models running right on your own laptop using platforms like Jan.ai or DeepSeek. Plus, credential security is becoming a huge deal, literally separating your sensitive API keys from the language models themselves. Basically, the whole world is moving from these passive little chatbots to active, secure agents. Moving right along to Section 2, Personal Agents that Take Action. These are the real doers of 2026.
So what even is a true agent? This is crucial. An agent is an AI that does actual work, like sending emails. It builds a persistent context across every single session, so you never ever have to repeat yourself again. And the absolute game changer here? It operates proactively. Imagine an AI that checks your inbox every hour and just acts on your behalf without you asking. It is a total redefinition of personal intelligence.
To really understand this, think about the contrast between a great ecosystem tool and a true persistent agent. Take Google Gemini. It is incredibly useful if you live inside Google Workspace, right? But it's cloud-only, it's reactive, and it resets to a blank slate every single time you use it. Now, compare that to Vellum. Vellum is local first. Its memory of your work actually compounds over time. It isolates your credentials for safety, and it proactively checks in to see what needs your attention. They aren't even competing for the same job.
And it gets better. You can build your own automated workflow machines using tools like Opal or Gemini Gems. It's like a three-step magic trick. First, you set the context by uploading your heavy data, say a massive market report on Nike India's night-running demographic. Second, you define your target, like creating B2B pitches for a coffee brand like Blue Tokai. Then, you just let it execute. The AI goes out, researches the web, drafts localized outreach emails, and can even spit out a clean HTML dashboard to show you the results. It's wild.
All right, on to Section 3, Deep Research and Analysis. Welcome to the Thinker's Room.
If you're doing heavy literature reviews, you've got two phenomenal options. If you need strict citations that stay extremely close to your uploaded documents, go with NotebookLM. It is absolutely brilliant for bounded Q&A. And it has this crazy unique feature where it can generate natural-sounding two-host audio podcast debates about your documents in multiple languages. But if you need to actually reason through long papers and synthesize really complex competing arguments, Claude Projects is 100% your go-to for deep reasoning and drafting.
Now, what if your research needs to pull from the live web? Well, you'll want to compare Perplexity and Gemini Deep Research. Perplexity is your best bet for fast, real-time answers with strictly cited, verifiable claims. But Gemini Deep Research, that acts like a tireless senior analyst. It will autonomously pull dozens of sources from the web to build a massive 40-source strategic pivot report, and you don't even have to hold its hand through the process.
Let's jump into Section 4, the AI builder tools. And yes, absolutely no code required. Build a working web app without knowing how to code or design. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This used to be science fiction, but this mind-blowing capability is now a reality for literally anyone who has an idea and wants to build their own custom tool from scratch. Here's exactly how that works in practice. You start over in Google Stitch, where you design your app screens using plain text prompts. You just use a simple design.md rulebook to keep your brand colors and fonts consistent.
Then you literally just export that visual design directly into Google AI Studio to make it functional. You can wire it up to models like Lyria for music or Nano Banana for images. Suddenly, you've constructed a fully functional Spotify clone, we'll call it MuseQuest, with a personalized dashboard and real AI-generated music. No coding degree necessary.
Which brings us to Section 5, AI for marketing and video. Time to launch those campaigns. Enter the Pomeli workflow. Honestly, this tool is the marketer's absolute dream, and maybe a traditional ad agency's worst nightmare. You just input a URL. Maybe it's H&M, or maybe it's a handcrafted jewelry brand you just launched today. Pomeli scrapes the site, extracts your brand DNA, and instantly generates studio-quality product photo shoots on AI models. It makes vertical social campaigns, builds a complete brand website, and get this, it pushes those creatives directly into your Google Ads account, all from one interface. Incredible.
And if you need high-end video marketing, we have Google Flow using the Omni model. This can literally replace a massive, expensive video shoot. The secret here is mastering what's called the 5 blocks of cinematic prompting: framing in motion, style, lighting, location, and action. If you structure your prompts using these 5 pillars, you could direct a completely photorealistic cinematic Cartier Panther commercial just by typing it out on your keyboard.
Finally, Section 6. Let's bring it all home and build your ultimate 2026 stack.
Let's put this all together into a timeline so it isn't totally overwhelming. Phase 1 is research. You're grounding your heavy data using NotebookLM and Perplexity. Phase 2 is action, bringing in Vellum and Opal to automate your persistent outreach and daily tasks. Phase 3 is build, using Stitch and AI Studio to construct your custom web apps without writing a single line of code. And finally, Phase 4 is market, utilizing Pomeli and Flow to launch and distribute those cinematic campaigns. Following this flow ensures you're always picking the exact right tool for the job.
That old AI ceiling we talked about at the beginning, it is completely shattered. We aren't just chatting with bots anymore. We have an entire on-demand suite of researchers, builders, marketers, and proactive agents right at our fingertips. So the only question I have left for you is, what are you going to build today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this roadmap empowers you to take action, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what you create.